Moving on, Harry Maguire. There's some stats that I found out about Harry Maguire. I follow this looked at this tweet by this United fan called Robbo, and we checked the stats out. So Robbo, it's great work, and their stats are absolutely bang on as well, bang on the money. Harry Maguire has played every single minute of Premier League football for Manchester United since he signed, and since his debut, only Man City have conceded fewer goals and kept more clean sheets than United. So when Maguire joined Manchester United, United were ranked 11th in goals conceded in the Premier League and 18th in clean sheets. So they were pretty shoddy at the back when Harry Maguire joined them. And let me remind you of that stat. Since his debut, Harry Maguire, only Man City have conceded fewer goals and kept more clean sheets than Manchester United. Now, there is a narrative around Harry Maguire that, I don't know, he's got a big forehead or he's not particularly quick. I get that. Or that Leicester fans will tell you, oh, look at the money we got for him and he wouldn't get into our reserve team now. All that nonsense, utter nonsense that you say when you're upset because a good player has left. Let's face facts. Harry Maguire is actually a very good defender. Yeah. He's a very good centre-half, isn't he?
I'm glad you said this, because when it comes down to stats, we only have to remember De Bruyne went into his contract at Manchester City when he was renewing it with a bucket full of stats and how important he is. And a lot would have been about assists, the amount of his passing success rate, his long pass success rate and all that. Well, if Harry Kane is listening, Harry, if you're listening, and you've got a pen and paper or you've got an expert in computers and stats, ring them up, get them to give you your file and take it into your next contract meeting with Manchester United, because those stats tell an unbelievable story. And that's how important it's become for Manchester United. And a lot of teams' recruitment now in professional sport, in all sports, especially football, right, and it's coming more into cricket as well, is about stats. And these sort. And it's a massive compliment to Harry Maguire. I say I'm relaxed now.
Not being funny. At the start of that, you said Harry Kane. Then you've gone Harry McCain.
I know. So I'm getting it right by the end. I'm getting it right by the end.
Just because the telly's not on anymore, mate. You've got to concentrate.
Mr. Grimsdale. But I think when it comes down to it, it just shows it. And a lot of people out there, Ed, when they're talking about Harry Maguire, is you either one in his camp and you think he's absolutely superb and he's made a big difference to Manchester United. Yes, it was a lot of money, but he's been fantastic since he's been there. Or you'll get the others who just keep laughing and say he's rubbish. Can't believe he's England's number one centre-back, and they can't believe he's playing for Manchester United. So which one are you? Those who are listening, which one are you out there? Because we've got, definitely, he is that split. He does have that split, Harry. Well,
are you positive? If so, let us know, because we want it to be as positive as possible. And if there are valid criticisms, then fine, let's hear from it. What don't know. I'll give you an example of something here. This is Rob, a Leicester fan. It's almost getting to the point where you can't really give Leicester fans any credibility in the Maguire debate anymore, because he's just said it's not just Leicester fans that don't rate him. I've heard a lot of Man United fans say he's not as good as Fofana or Evans, just my opinion. And listen, absolutely entitled to your opinion.
But Man United got rid of Evans.
But honestly, coming on and saying, what have you canvassed loads of Manchester United fans? I mean, have you done a big survey, Rob? What are the numbers here? It's Man United fans who don't rate him. Well, I've read loads of tweets just going through a load of Man United fans today on Twitter saying he is way better than people realise. He's underrated, he's a proper captain and a proper leader. Now, that's just a few on Twitter. So what have you done? Have you looked at a few that say, no, he's no good? I mean, what kind of scientific survey is that? And not as good as Fofana or Evans. I mean, really? He goes to Manchester United and all of a sudden the clean sheets go through the roof. The defending is spectacular compared to where it was. And look at them now, second only to Manchester City in the Premier League. Now, I will give you that he had a terrible game against Spurs earlier this season. He had a shocker. A lot of Man United players did, but he had a real shocker. And he looked completely lost. He looked totally out of his depth. But you've got to remember, this is off the back of what happened to him in the summer, where there was stuff going on in his personal life that may well have affected his mentality. And as soon as things started to go wrong on the pitch, that meant he couldn't recover as quickly. How well has he done to get his mentality right since then?
He's been fantastic, and like I say, it shocked me though actually when you came out with those stats, and it is because people are always almost trying to get him out of the side, whether it be England or Manchester United. He's not quick enough, he turns too slow, you come up against better opposition, he's going to get rinsed, and he might do. I mean, if he came up against Bayern Munich or he came up against PSG, it'd be interesting to see how he performs at this moment in time. He's done it in the past against PSG, by the way, so it would be interesting to see what goes on there. But I'm just laughing at some of these. Harry McCain, is he all that?
He's the best player in the world
Some
right now.
player, that Harry McCain. How much would he be worth? Can you imagine that? A bit of a mix between Harry Kane and Harry Maguire.
Yeah, but where do you play him?
Midfield. Where do you think you're playing? Yeah, I play midfield.
Dear. I think what I find this really interesting. The differences. He's so Marmite, Harry Maguire. So let's get some of your views, positive or otherwise. 08717 22 33 44.